justifying the means. It's action or course of actions that the consequences of it, such as like getting a bigger paycheck or getting paid more money, cover for the means. Like, let's say in the case of Ken Lay, fraud, cheating California taxpayers out of $10 billion. But a utilitarian would say, Ken Lay, even though he has achieved happiness through that end, it isn't the greatest because of the greatest number of people. Or is it actually? Because see, the California taxpayers were cheated unknowingly. They didn't know that Enron was funneling money out of the energy prices. So if no one's angry, or if a very, 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 very small minority, let's say 1 or 2 people, are angry that they've been cheated knowingly, whereas a small group of people, Ken Lay and his close cronies, are extremely jubilant in their newfound income, it would outweigh the fraud that has been committed.
To achieve happiness, see, the main point I wanted to make is this discussion is totally artificial in terms of life and happiness, because the plane on which we're talking about, where you have life and happiness, is out in the quote-unquote real world, even though this is pretty concrete, I think. The real world out there where you're actually like struggling and fighting for yourself does wealth equate to happiness. And can you use wealth as a means to achieve certain things in your life that are necessary for happiness? And the purpose of this whole debate is perhaps, it seems, because this topic is so debated, at least as I have come in contact with it, seems to just come to the conclusion that no, that's not true. And that moral lesson, I don't know, I can't think of any specific cartoons or Disney, has been pounded in our society, yet there's also this push to get rich. But in our society, there's this like emphasis on the idea that wealth does not equate to happiness. Therefore, we have this discussion, but then again, we're having this discussion to reinforce this reality. So
yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, at what point is it just what we're saying, and couldn't at least somebody out there actually like find, maybe even if it's an artificial happiness, find some kind of happiness out of, you know?
See, then you go to the definition of happiness. So why does it even matter what exactly happiness is, or if your happiness is true, as long as you're, for a second, for a moment in your life, feeling happy? It comes down to the reality of the experience itself.
Like, what if, what if for somebody happiness was the pursuit of wealth?
Where wealth does equate to happiness.
Well, at least, maybe not, because it's so pounded into us that, like, it doesn't. Well,
yeah, but the thing is, I think that, like, that doesn't even matter. It's all about the statistical, like, the whole statistical data that most people, wealth does not equate to happiness. And that even as much as we say that is true.
You know what quickly to interrupt, but something that you said that really sparked a memory is my mom was specifically talking about, I can't even remember where she picked it up, but it was something to have to deal with, like, most people are not any more happy after having won the lottery than they were before, but unless you're like at a point where you were having to worry about financial stuff and like that, and then at that point and only at that point will you actually achieve some sort of greater happiness, because it like provides security and stuff like that. So I guess in that sense it is true. But
they have.
Let me go back though. You make this distinction. I want to give you, or give myself a chance to catch up with. This distinction between success and greatness. You went right past that. It's a profound distinction. Talk to me about the distinction, the difference between success and greatness.
No, I think success is worldly in terms of the American dream is often characterized as pecuniary gain and financial prosperity, economic status. You know, living in the big crib, you know, in the vanilla suburb, living large, and the bling bling that goes along with it. Now, we all know we all need money, we all need financial resources and so forth, but we also know how that can easily become not just idolatrous, but it can become poisonous to one's soul. You know the wonderful essay written by the white literary bluesman Tennessee Williams after Glass Menagerie in 1947 wrote a fascinating essay called The Catastrophe of Success. It's actually a biography of Frank Capra, which is a very negative biography. I didn't like it, but I like Capra, but it did reveal some things. But it was also titled The Catastrophe of Success. Meaning what? That if, in fact, you're not spiritually, politically, morally prepared to deal with success, then a catastrophe can follow thereafter, and in fact, it can blind you in your own quest for greatness. Because if, in fact, all you actually think life is about are these fleeting pleasures and these commodities, and you think you can possess your soul by means of possessing commodities, you've got some nihilism, some existential emptiness, and spiritual malnutrition waiting for you. I don't care where it is. I know we here in Hollywood, so maybe I should shout that out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hollywood doesn't...